Hello travelers, welcome back. This is Yus here, and today I have for you a Generation 6 NU battle against my good friend Smelly. So yeah, we had this match right after the Johto starters got their hidden ability released, which was great. My man Typhlosion got Flash Fire and I really wanted to use that monster in this match. So yeah, Typhlosion was NU, so we did an NU battle, as you can see. So yeah, Feraligatr got the best of it. He got Sheer Force. I'll be trying that in the near future, hopefully. So yeah. Anyways, looking at my team, I do have Hariyama, because that thing has Thick Fat, and on this tier a lot of fire types like have a lot of power. Like you can see on his team, he has Pyroar, Typhlosion, and yeah, those guys are nothing to mess with. So you have to have that Thick Fat on your team. I have that Sneasel with that knockoff because that's the most used move in this meta and it's very helpful, yeah. So Togetic, it has Defog and it's a pretty good special wall, and it can help me get rid of those rocks or nasty spikes, so I can have my Specs Eruption power at the maximum. And yeah, speaking of Specs Eruption and the star of the show, Typhlosion, Explotaro, my man. And yeah, ready to destroy some souls. Choice Scarf Rotom with Trick and Seismitoad with the rocks, defensive and all that. So looking at his team, he has Claydol, and I need to like take care of that thing before he gets to set up his rocks. And if he gets to set them up, I gotta get rid of them as soon as possible with Togetic, because as I said, Typhlosion needs to be at full HP. Sock, I was expecting it to be Choice Scarf because that was the most used set in Gen 5. Lantern, mostly specially defensive. Pyroar, that thing is a monster. Smelly loves using Pyroar. I love that Pokemon as well. With Choice Specs, it can wreck as well. And Ninjask, that thing can be a very dangerous baton passer, so I need to take care of it, because if he sets up and he passes to Sock, I can be on big troubles basically. And he has a Mega Audino. That thing, if it sets up Calm Minds, it will never die, pretty much. So yeah, without further ado, let's get moving to the battle. So there we go. Before we get to start, I would like to thank Caesar so much for recording this for me. The match is gonna be in French, and yeah, I had a lot of troubles recording this on my own, so thank you a lot, my friend. So right off the bat, he's gonna start with his Lantern, and I'm gonna start with my Hariyama. And I'm just gonna go for the fake out. It's not gonna do anything, but you gotta get that cheap damage, right? So yeah, he's gonna Volt Switch out and he's gonna go into his Mega Audino, and I decided just to go for a knockoff, and he predicted that very nicely by going into his Mega, because Mega Stones can be knocked off. So I don't know what this thing can do. I expected it to go for Wish or something, trying to take anything, and he just Mega Evolves and he just went for that. So there it is, he goes for Wish. I send in Sneasel. I don't have any use for Sneasel in this match, looking at his team, so I decided just to go for the Source Dance and then trying to get as much damage as possible on this Audino, because you know, Audino, it's really painful to deal with. This thing has a lot of defense, so I'm just gonna go for the Ice Punch, trying to get as much damage as possible. And you saw that's a Source Dance boosted Ice Punch. That did absolutely nothing, so there we go. I'm gonna die to the Dazzling Gleam, and I'm gonna send in Typhlosion. And I'm not gonna mess around, I'm just gonna go for that Specs Eruption right away. And he's gonna go for Protect, scout of what move I'm gonna go for. He's gonna send in Lantern, trying to take the move well, and he's not gonna take it well at all, because you know, Specs Eruption, I don't know, I don't care how much specially defensive you are or how many resistances you do have, that thing will hurt you, that thing will destroy you. It's a clean 3-hit KO on a specially defensive Lantern. So he's gonna go into his Pyroar, and I'm gonna go into my Togetic. And he went for Hidden Power Grass. Thankfully I switched, and yeah, most of these things tend to carry Hidden Power Grass, which is a nice choice for pokes like Seismitoad, and I think Quagsire is NU too, so yeah. Anyways, gonna go back into my Hariyama, and he's gonna go into his Lantern, and I'm just gonna go for close combat, trying to get as much damage as possible, but he's just going to go for Protect again. I don't know, He has Protect on this thing for some reason. I'm sorry, I really don't know why, but yeah. I'm gonna go into Side Method, predicting either the Electric or the Water move, because I do have Water Absorb on this thing. And he's gonna go for Protect to see what move I'm gonna go for, while I'm just gonna go and set up my Stealth Rocks, trying to get as much damage as possible. And now I just went into, I just go for the Earthquake, trying to get damage there, but he predicts that well. He sends in Claydol, he's gonna avoid it with his Levitate ability, and he's gonna take this opportunity to set up his screens, his Reflect, and I'm gonna go for knock off his leftovers, which is gonna be great. He's gonna set up his Stealth Rocks, and I'm just gonna go for Scald, trying to get some damage there and hopefully get a burn, trying to get that residual damage there. But I don't want to deal with his screens, I don't want to deal with his Stealth Rocks. Like I said, I have Typhlosion, he's gonna go for Light Screen, and I'm just gonna go for Togetic, go for Defog, get rid of everything. I'm Mr. Clean, call me Mr. Clean, I'm Togetic. I'm just gonna get rid of everything. There you go, there's your Defog, and he's gonna send in Sock. I'm gonna need to keep my Togetic a good amount of health, because I needed to, like I said, I'm Mr. Clean, I need to keep the ring out of hazard. So he's just gonna go for knock off my leftovers, which is no big deal. He's gonna go back into his Audino. I decided to go for the Earthquake, expecting either the Lantern or the Audino, which is great. And I'm gonna go for another one, leave him at a low amount of health, and he is gonna be forced to Wish. So here I'm gonna expect him to Protect and not finish him off, and I'm gonna set up my rocks, but he expected me to predict him, which was a great move on his part. He's gonna Toxic me, which is great. That's gonna help him big time, because Toxic in this thing, I don't have leftovers anymore. That's really gonna help him big time. So gonna switch out, gonna send in Togetic again. He's gonna Toxic, predicting my switch. Smelly's making some awesome plays right now, but sadly for him, my Togetic does carry the Heal Bell, so I'm gonna be able to cure myself and cure my Seismitoad at the same time. So there you go, he's gonna switch into his Sock. I'm scared of the Stone Edge, so I'm really can't stay in, so I'm gonna go back into my Seismitoad, but he just went for the knockoff. He just wants to get rid of my Eviolite, because Togetic is really bulky. And I'm just gonna go for Scald, trying to fish for a burn, but he's gonna sack his Claydol. Claydol was a good choice of Pokemon to sack at this point, so he's gonna sack it, and now he's gonna have a free switch into this monster. And yeah, I could have expected the Fire move and go into my Typhlosion, but that was really obvious. And since I still have my Hariyama with Thick Fat, I can't take anything from this. But he expected Typhlosion, he just went for the Specs Hyper Voice, and that does a lot to Hariyama. And in comes Audino, Stealth Rock damage. That's gonna leave him on the range of 2 close combats, and yeah, that's the first close combat, but I kind of forgot the speed of that thing, so I just went for the Bullet Punch. I got a crit, not sure if that mattered, pretty sure it didn't, because it's super effective, but yeah. So I have my defenses lower, so this Sock can just fart and finish me off. So basically, yeah, that's what just happened. And since it's choiced, I'm just gonna send in Rotom, and Rotom, I'm gonna predict the Lantern switch in, and I'm just gonna trick it as Choice Scarf, which is gonna help me big time. And I'm gonna get leftovers, and now I'm gonna try to get as much damage as possible with the Shadow Ball, but Smelly is gonna predict that again. Great move. Gonna go for Shadow Ball, and he's gonna send in his Pyroar, part normal, so he's gonna be able to avoid that and outspeed me and destroy me with one single blow. And since he's choiced into Flamethrower, you know what's up, it's lunchtime for Explotaro. I'm just gonna start firing off some Eruptions, and there you go, Choice Specs Eruptions, Lantern on the switch. That's a 2-hit KO. That's the first one, and the second one is gonna obliterate him. Oh my god, Typhlosion is such a beast, oh my god. And in comes his Ninjask, in comes the Jask, and I'm gonna expect him to set up because he still has only 2 pokes left. And yeah, he did in fact go for the Source Dance, and Eruption again is gonna destroy that Ninjask. And that's the end of that, and now in comes his last Pokemon, which is this thing, expecting it to be Choice Scarf. So I wanna see what move he's gonna lock himself into. I'm gonna send in my Seismitoad, he's gonna go for Close Combat, and it's gonna take 2 close combats to finish off my Seismitoad. Actually, never mind, he still has his Pyroar. I'm sorry, this is he still has 2 Pokemon left, so he's gonna be able to finish off my Seismitoad. I'm gonna send in Togetic. He has his defenses lowered, so I can just go for Dazzling Gleam, and after the Stealth Rock damage, Dazzling Gleam is gonna be a 2-hit KO on this thing, but I wanna have this Togetic a good amount of health, so I just went for Roost. He's gonna go for Hyper Voice. That's gonna do anything? That's not gonna do anything. Oh my god. Yeah, like I said, Dazzling Gleam is a 2-hit KO at that range, and yeah, I need my Togetic at a good amount of health so I can deal with his Shock, and I'm pretty sure that at a good amount of health I can't take 1 Stone Edge from that thing, right? So there you go, Dazzling Gleam, and that's the end of the Pyroar. And now his last Pokemon, which is his Sock. But apparently he doesn't have Stone Edge. He went for the Ice Punch, and Smelly told me that he was actually Choice Banded, not even Scarf, so I was scared of nothing, because he apparently doesn't even have Stone Edge. So yeah. Anyways, it was a great game, Smelly. Thanks for the match, my friend. Hope you guys enjoyed as well. Leave your awesome feedback as always, and I'll be seeing you guys next time. Have a nice day, and take care of yourselves. See ya.